مرحبا مجددا مشاهدينا وطلاب وطالبات دبلوم التعليم العام في حلقة متجددة وفي درس اللغة الإنجليزية فرع المهارات مع الأستاذة بسمة بن سعيد السديرية معلم أول لغة إنجليزية. أهلا وسهلا بك أستاذة.
أهلا وسهلا.
يعطيك العافية والصحة. إذا إن شاء الله نستكمل ما انتهينا عنده في الدرس السابق. تفضلي.
Good morning our students, and hopefully you are doing well so far and you are preparing yourself for this time, and hopefully you're practicing your English, because as you know, English needs practice. I know it's different than the other subjects, but English, as far as you talk more, your English will be better than before. As we have done so far, we have covered two different types of writings, and as I told you, from these two types and from what you have sent to me, we'll have some points that we should consider and things we want to highlight for the coming let's say episodes. As a beginning, I want you to have a look at the screen. Hopefully it's clear for you. I really want to thank those who were working hard and those who were doing the homework and they have contacted me regarding the homework. I'm so happy, I'm so proud what I have seen from you, and the written works you have sent indicates that your English is outstanding. And I apologize for those who have sent me some of their writings, but I couldn't answer, I couldn't check, because some of you sent it really late, by the end of this week, yesterday and the day before. I've tried to have a look at the writings you have sent and to pick up some of the good samples so you can have a clear idea of what is a good sample. All the good writings and some of the let's say formal letters, as a job application letter and a letter of complaint, were attached to the file and still use the same code, the same QR code, to get access to the folder. So again, I'll just remind you for the code we were talking about last time. Here you have the code, which is the same. Here now, I'm so happy that we have provided some writing samples for you regarding the formal letters, and I'm sure many of you will get access there and have a look at these samples so they can understand how does a good sample look like and what are the things you need to consider in writing. For this time, again, to focus on writing reports, because it's mainly a new type for you, and since it's a new type and you didn't get access for this writing and writing core or the English core, I advise you again to send me your writings so we can help others in the Sultanate and have a good access through the writing. So again, you go for the code, which is here. You scan it, as we said, using the same applications we have mentioned last time. Either you are Android users or iOS, and to try to find out this app, and then it will get you to the folder. In the folder you have plenty of let's say work articles related to formal letters and report. If you get access to the folder under the title report, I want you to enter the folder, and there you will have a Word document titled homework. I want you to go there and check out the writing sample. I'm going to show it to you so you can have a look. I write it, and we will highlight what the things you need to consider before you start writing. It's written here: your English teacher asked you to write a report evaluating the English Open Day held at your school. So we will highlight the keywords. As I told you, always highlight the keywords so you can have a good access for the topic and you can understand the topic thoroughly. So whom you are sending to, who asked you to write the report. So number one, I know that it's my English teacher who asked me to write the reports. So I know one main element of the report. Second point, the English teacher asked me to write a report evaluating what? Let's change the color so you can see well. It's the English teacher asked me to evaluate the English Open Day. So I'm evaluating an event here, and where it happened at your school last week. This is what you will get in the final exam question or for writing report. Do I have extra information or a box of information? No, because some of the students were asking what kind of information will be provided. As it's mentioned in the SAH document, the question will be formed by adding an instruction for you. Based on the instruction, you start writing. So as we said, you start to, from, let's write it down. Here you start by writing to, from. I'm just repeating these points because I want you to consider the outline. It's a report, it's not evaluative essay as the other types you have studied, but this one has a different outline. And then you go to write the topic. How I can get the title or the topic of my report? Again, from the question itself. Even you can use this one, English Open Day. That's it. Okay, and then you will go by your paragraphs, introduction, body, and conclusion, the way we have talked about last time. As far as you are considering the outline, considering the grammatical rules, and brainstorming above all. This is my title. This is a key element to have a good writing. So I have here, this is my title. What do I need to do? I need to outline the points I want to consider. Point number 1 and 2, and then you will provide yourself with details. So I won't give you points to consider. I want you to think by your own. I want you to brainstorm the title according to the things that you feel confident to write about. As far as you have enough information regarding these points, then you will find it easy to you to write. Try to think about the situation, about the scenario. Imagine what happened there. The English Open Day, how was it? Who are the people were involved? Who was participating in the activities? The whole venue, how was it? The organization. As far as you imagine, then you will have a good, let's say, criteria to evaluate the whole event. Hopefully it's clear for you. Please, once you send me your writings, try to send it typed in Word, because if you send it as a picture, it will be hard to follow, it will be hard to read and hard to attach in the drive file. So please consider the others all around Oman, so no one, perhaps some people find it difficult to read the different handwritings. So type the writing and then send it to me. And I'm really grateful for you. I'm really thankful. I appreciate all the people who contacted me and sent me their writings. And hopefully, inshallah, you're helping others in writing. So, as I told you from what we said, after doing this, we will have a look at the writings you have sent next week. For today's session, and from what we have talked about, and from the things I've seen in your writings, in the formal letters you have sent to me, the main point I've felt and I've seen that you have sort of problem is, let's write it down here, what we call the linking words. And I guess everyone knows what is linking words. So the main focus of this session will be about linking words. So you will be able to identify the different types of linking words, or what we call by conjunctions. Some of the people call them conjunctions. The way you want to say it, it doesn't differ, and to join sentences using linking words or conjunctions. So hopefully many of you have used very good linking words and they have used them perfectly, but some of you maybe mix the meaning or try to add as much words as much as they know the linking words, I mean, and then they tend to mess up the meaning, or the meaning won't be clear. So let's define what is a conjunction, or what are conjunctions. As a beginning, these words, or the connectors, the conjunctions, the linking words, are used to do what? Why we need them in our writing? They are useful to connect our ideas together, to help people understand our ideas, and to make what we say more interesting. This is the main important thing I want you to highlight. Do you want others to like your writing? Do you want others to feel interested in reading your articles and essays? This is the way, one way of making it really interesting, and to help others understand our ideas, because words are very strong and they are powerful, and they will give you the strength to make your ideas clear for everyone. So hopefully you got the idea, and I'm sure you got enough idea about conjunctions and you have used them a lot. Let's have a look at these two sentences here. Let's read them together. As a result, I would like to ask a full refund. This is from the samples, some of the samples I've got in your writings. So where is the linking word? As a result, this is the linking word. And what does it mean? Usually, how we can get the meaning of the linking words from the context itself, from the sentence. And put in mind that whenever you use or misuse any linking word, the meaning will be totally different. So as a result, obviously perhaps you can guess, as a result is expressing results. Okay, let's move to the other one. Despite the frequent complaints, I got no answer. So again, despite is another linking word. What does it mean? If we ask ourselves what I want to say here, what is the idea I want to express, what the reader will get from this. Despite the frequent complaints, I got no answer. It means I have done lots of complaints, but I got no answer. So can we say this equal but? Perhaps I cannot say that these two words are equal. So each word has no exact synonym or equivalent that has exactly the same meaning. But imagine the difference if I'll say but, for example, here. Let's write but instead of that. Despite. Will it work? Let's see. But the frequent complaints, I got no answer. How does it sound now? Is it correct? No, unfortunately, it doesn't work. It doesn't mean as I want to say. Although despite has a little bit similar meaning to despite, but it doesn't work here. Why is that? Because the way we structure the sentence and the way we start the sentence itself will differ, and the linking words used in each sentence will determine how the meaning will be. Let's move on. We have many. If you searched in the internet and write linking words or conjunctions, you will have many linking words, many lists under different types, under different categories. I don't care about the names of these types or the names under the categories under each conjunction. What I want you to know that we have different linking words and we have different meanings for each linking word. So for example, for result, if you think with me, what are the words I can use to indicate a result? For example, let's link the situation, the whole what is going on. I feel sick, so I will stay home. This is a very simple sentence related to what's going on nowadays and how people should stay home. Please stay home. So I feel sick, I don't feel really good, I don't feel that good. So what should I do? As a result, I will stay home. Here the reader will get immediately the meaning because I have used so. Do I have other words related to result? Many. As an example, as a result is used a lot. So perhaps you try to find out more words related to results. For reasoning, the most common one that students use and really like is the word, can you guess? And maybe all the students will find out easily because they like this word. It's because. I don't know why many students like this word. What is special about this word so everyone like it and everyone try to use it? Is it really interesting, or there is a very good relation between you and this word? The point is, because it's a very good word and it's commonly used, but the point is that over repeating the same word will make your writing, let's say, boring. The repetition makes the reader feel bored about the writings. Try to vary. Try to use different words. What are the words that have similar meaning to because, but not to use because every single time? Because even in writing a report or writing a complaint letter, you will need to give reasons. So will I stick to using because all the time? No. So I want you to go home by yourself, Google, and write or linking words that mean reasons, or give me the reasons. Once you write this, you will have many words. The point is, don't use any linking words if you are not aware of how it is used, because the way we write the different word and the different, let's say, structure will make it different. Okay, let's move to another one, which is order. What do you mean by order? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. For example, you want to write certain order of doing a process, for example, and I'm sure you have studied this in previous units in semester 1 and grade 11 as well. Writing the order of certain processes or certain events, you will need to convey the idea that this one is first, second, and so on. So we'll start, for example, by writing first. And usually first is in the beginning, and then we can write second, third. Next we can say, and then by the way, order perhaps is different than listing, and we will talk about this later. Next, and then we can say after that, and then we can mention as well for the last step, finally. Now the reader will be clear about the idea that I'm giving certain order. I told you we'll talk about listing. Let's write it here. Because, for example, for writing reasons in your complaint letters, you will need to list the reasons why you are unhappy and not satisfied with the certain situation. So, can I use first? Sure, you can use first here. Let's say, for example, here I can use first. Can I use anything else? Because I'm listing, I'm adding points that they are related to the same idea, to the main topic sentence. So I can say, for example, first, also. This is why ordering is different than listing. I can say, for example, in addition. I can say as well, and I'm sure you know all these linking words, but just this is just a reminder, so you can put in mind these linking words and try to use them. I know you know many information regarding the linking words, but the point is that you feel lazy to practice writing them and to practice varying the words you use. And instead of sticking to because and but, these are your favorite three, try to vary, try to use other linking words, so your writing will be live, your writing will be vivid. Okay, so these are some of the examples we got regarding the idea of listing points, listing ideas, or adding similar ideas. Let's have a look at, for example, adding. Is it like listing? It's almost the same. So you add, let's say, points related to adding the same or similar topic. Contrast. What does it mean, contrast? A is one side and B is the other side. So they are contrasted, they are different. So again, one of your favorites and most common used linking word is, I like this, but I don't like this. If you say so, I am sure many of you will get the idea simply. But if I want to have a contrast between two different ideas, not only two things, like I like ice cream, but I don't like apple. So here again, the difference in two different elements, the ice cream and the apple. But if you want to contrast ideas in general, how you can indicate this? For example, let's write, again, it's commonly used, and hopefully you will practice writing using this linking word. If we write, for example, however, what does it mean if I say however? Is it similar to but? Again, I won't say that every single word similar to another. They are not having exact meaning. They show perhaps similar features of the meaning, but they are not exactly the same. Keep in mind that they are not exactly the same. So here you are contrasting ideas. For example, let's have a sentence. I was totally, let's say, for example, let's write it down so it can be clear. I studied hard. What's the other contrasting idea? Here I'm not contrasting, let's say, two things. I'm contrasting two different ideas. I studied hard, however, I got F, unfortunately, and you will not. Okay, so what is the contrast here? I studied hard, which is something good, which logically will have a certain result, which is passing the exam or getting a high level. But what's the contrast here? What do you want to show here? That on the other hand, something else unexpected happened, which is this one. So what do you want to show here? I want to show two contrasted ideas. They are not similar, they are not the same. Or for example, if I use however, then the reader immediately will get the indication that, oh, it's not as I expected, it's something else. So hopefully you have got a general idea about the linking words. These are not all the linking words. They are not limited by these types. There are many, they are different names under different categories. So what I want you to do to search, and you have your own list. And again, I have attached the list of linking words in the Drive file. You can get access to this, but if you feel if you can get access to the internet, you can search and find more samples, examples, and sentences using the linking word. So I want you to have a look at this. It's an extract from a writing sent by Fatma Alaisa. and I'm really grateful for you, Fatma, and the other students who have sent me the writings. Let's have a look at this writing and let's highlight the main linking words and are they used correctly here? Let's see. Let's start from the beginning. I thought things will be more peaceful. However, things went more annoying. When I went to my room, it was truly messed up and untidy and covered with dust. Due to that, here again, another linking word. I asked for the clean service, but there was no response. In addition, the dinner at your restaurant was so bad and the food not tasty. So I asked for another plate. Unfortunately, nobody took me seriously there. Now, do I need to add many linking words? Do I need to count how many linking words I have used in my writing? Do I need to add as much linking words as I could in my writing? It's not this way. The point is, as far as you try to explain and get the meaning the way you want to express it to the reader, then you are fine. So let's see, did Fatma have used these linking words correctly or not? Let's try. I thought things will be more peaceful. However, things went more annoying. What's the meaning of however? Ask yourself. We said previously what do we mean by however. So here I have a contrast. I thought things will be peaceful. So this is one idea. Peaceful is something positive. Let's move to the other part. However, things went more annoying. So can you see the contrast now? The two opposing ideas. Now I know that the reader will feel it with me. It adds feeling. Let's say adds life to the context you want to convey. So here, and thank you Fatma again, however is used perfectly here. So let's move on. For the other sentence, due to that, I asked for the clean service. Due to, what does it mean? Here it's a due to. From the context, can you guess? Due to is like because of that, but is it similar like saying because? Again, the idea of linking words is not just to use them, it's to use them perfectly as the context need. Due to that, I asked for the clean service. Due to what? Ask yourself, due to what? Let's go back. Let's go back to the previous sentence so I can understand the text well. Here, when I went to my room, it was truly messed up, yeah, and untidy and covered with dust. Because of this, what did I do? I asked for the clean service. So I know here I have like a cause, and because of this, I've done this. Now, I know what's the idea of due to, but again, you consider how you form it. I cannot tell you that 1, 2, 3 to follow. So you use due to that and 1, 2, 3. You use because of in another context. It doesn't work this way. It's the more you practice, the more you read and get through many reading texts using linking words, the better you will be in using them. Let's have a look at your writing, Fatma, again. And here we got the one you like most, the word but. So due to that, I asked for the clean service, but there was no response. What does it mean here? You have done this, something happened which is not expected, but there was no response. And again, I'm confident about your use of the word but. In addition, here I'm doing what? I'm adding. And mind you, for a letter of complaint, since you are explaining why you're not happy about a certain situation, so you will be listing what are the reasons that made you not satisfied. So I have mentioned the first one, and now here, in addition indicates what? As we said, you're listing, you're adding an idea similar to what is before, or let's say it supports what is said before. In addition, another reason, now I'm giving another reason. In addition, the dinner at your restaurant was so bad. So I know that Fatma have written one reason before, and this is another one. The reader blindly will follow, even in reading. How linking words can help me to find out or to understand readings quickly. You go and try to have a look at the text, and then you will find out linking words. What do they tell me? Do they tell me a new idea? Do they add a new idea or contrasting other ideas? The way the linking words are used will help you to find out the idea and comprehend the text easily. Again, here we have another one, which is so I asked for another plate. So is showing what? A result of what happened before. What happened before? Ask yourself again. And this is the way you make sure that you're using the linking words correctly. If you ask yourself, am I using this correctly? Am I using it as it is should be? By asking yourself this question. For example, so it's showing a result. A result of what? I asked for another plate. Why I asked for another plate? Because of something happened before, and as a result I have done this. You go and search in your text. If you find that cause which forced me to do this, then you're doing it correctly. So thank you, Fatma, for your writing, and it's really helpful, and you have used the linking words really well. Thank you so much. Let's move to another writing, and I'm sorry I cannot show all the writings, but I've got some samples, and the rest you can find in the Drive file. Let's have here another writing written by Tuqa. So let's have a look at the sample here, how it started. To begin with, as we said, for ordering, for listing, usually you have a step one. What's the first step you do? Like you start by writing first. I know this is my first point. If I use to begin with, then I know this is the beginning of listing, of writing, of explaining what you want to process, to explain. So to begin with indicates that here we go with the main details. So to begin with, this is the first one. Let's move to the rest of it. There was a mistake made regarding the room reserved for me, and it took the receptionist too long to provide me another one. The next day, when I ordered dinner, and when can be considered as a linking word again, they got my order wrong. Moreover, to make it worse, they did not believe me when I said that this was not what I ordered. If you notice here, she have used linking words to indicate the listing of the ideas. Where are they? Let's see. To begin with, this is an indication that this is the first point, and mainly we can write 2 or 3 points in the same paragraph with their subdetails. Here, what are the points that Tuqa have mentioned in her writing? The first one is indicated by to begin with. Do I need to search and find out? Yes, let's go. The next day, does it indicate another point? No. What about moreover? Does it indicate that I'm adding to the list, that I'm adding to the points, I'm explaining, I'm giving details regarding the main topic? Yes, so here I have second point. This is why I told you it's very helpful to do it this way. In your reading test, you will go through very long text, like around 250 words. So how I can comprehend the reading text fast and to go through the questions and answer the questions easily? This is one way. There are many ways for sure, but this is one of the interesting ways, by finding out the linking words, so then you can find out the points. So to begin with, and moreover, are indicating that I have point 1 and point 2, and what is following is just details. All these are details for the main point. So hopefully you have get the main idea of the linking words in these two texts. Let's see. Here in your writing insight for unit 7, you have let's say writing tips help you to find out and strengthen your writing by certain techniques. What is said here? It says that you need to connect ideas, and connecting ideas make your writing really good. So use linking words to show logical connections. As we said, we link the ideas to make it interesting. So this is the logical connection. And how it can be logical? If you are using the right linking word. If you make it, let's say, the wrong linking word or something that doesn't work in this context, then the meaning will be not logical. The connection will be not logical. So it gives you here some examples like contrast, and we have talked about this before, and we have here reasons, and we have results, and it gives you some examples here. Again, the context will differ, and the way you use the linking words will make your writing either strong, easy to follow, or all in a mess. It's the key thing is that you use what you are confident about. Don't try to use all the linking words in the same time, but you don't have any idea about how to use them. Let's have a look at a very good sample in your Insight student's book. The one we have covered last time, it's in your book. So just to find out the book, it's here, page 113. I want you to open your book and follow with me. Usually finding out linking words will help you to find out how I can use them, and this will train your mind of using linking words and the best way to use them. So this is a very good sample. It's in your student's book, page 113. I want you to follow with me. Okay, so let's see. I've took an extract from the body. So if you were following with me in your student's book, I skipped the first paragraph and I have gone to paragraph 2. Here we go. So I hopefully you are following, and try to use your notebook or your notes, sticky notes, to follow. Let's see. Here is the first paragraph in your let's say body. We were given a large table on which to spread our leaflets and other information, as well as, here we have a linking word, as well as being able to use the wall behind us on which to display our largest posters. However, there were about 100 other stands in the hall, and the majority of students said did not get to us until they had been there some time. As a result, they had already signed up for other clubs and societies. So again, what you can get, since we are here, it's an evaluating report. You are writing to evaluate certain event or whatever. So once you explain the ideas, you make sure that you are logically connecting the ideas. Make them logical. Let's see here. As well as, I'm using as well as to add ideas. for adding. Okay, however, there were about, so let's go before. This is the way we link the ideas and the way we can see that what is written here is logical and give me a good sense. It said before, as well as being able to use the wall behind us on which to display our largest posters. However, there were about 100 other stands in the hall. So here I've mentioned something and I have here a contrast. Okay, so I can see the adding and I can see the contrast there. And again here I've got as a result, obviously and blindly it will be showing a result. When we show a result, it means something that mentioned before, and this is the result of what is mentioned. What is there? It said that the majority of students did not get to us until they had been there some time. So this is what happened. As a result, what is the result after this? Let's say they had, it's highlighted, they had already signed up for other clubs in society. So I know what happened there. Here, the majority of students did not get to us. As a result, what happened? This is what happened. So now I can see the logic between the two sentences. How does it sound? It sounds great. The writing is really comprehensible. Let's move to this one. On the other hand, if we say on the other hand, what does it mean? You just keep this in mind. On one hand and on the other hand. On the other hand is something as different than what is mentioned before. So many students said that they would have been interested in joining if they had seen us earlier. Some students admitted that this is a completion of what is mentioned before. So you keep in mind this. Some students admitted that they were unaware that we offered photography courses and workshops. Despite our unfavorable location, most of those who came to talk to us were very impressed. So here, however, I'm adding something to what is mentioned here because they are related paragraphs. This paragraph is related to this one. So what is coming next is related. And despite our unfavorable location, again here, what I'm showing here, if I use despite what? Despite our unfavorable location, which is something negative because the location wasn't that much liked by others. What happened here? Most of those who came to talk to us were very impressed, which is something positive. So can you see now the use of despite? Here there is something negative here, and despite the negative point mentioned here, I have seen what is positive. I hope that what we have mentioned here is clear. Let's have a task in your book, page 114, about using the linking words. Again, mainly when we talk about linking words, we want to see the context and the meaning. As far as you're considering these 2 points, you will be able to understand how to use the linking words. So let's have a look at the task here. I hope that you are following me on your student's book, page 114. So I'll ask myself, what is the meaning that I want to convey here? And the context, does it work with this linking word? Because some linking words having almost a similar meaning, but the context and the way the sentence is written doesn't work. So let's have a look at number 1. We enjoyed the fair. It was badly organized. So let's have again analyze the text, then use the linking word. Let's see. We enjoyed the fair. It was badly organized. So enjoyed is something positive. And it was badly organized, something negative. So I can see that something positive here and something negative here. So what do I have? I have a contrast. When I have a contrast, I keep in mind that I'll go for the linking words related. Look at the given words on the top. You have because of, on the other hand, whereas, although, however, due to. Which one works with this context? Think with me and try to find out the answer. Can I use because of we enjoyed the fair? It was badly organized. How does it sound? Sometimes you ask yourself and you feel it, it doesn't work this way. It doesn't make sense this way. So let's try something else. On the other hand, no, whereas, no. What about although? Although we enjoyed the fair, it was badly organized. Does it work here? It worked. So for number 1, it will be, let's write it here. Okay, so although we enjoyed the fair, it was badly organized. I have something good and something bad. The enjoyment is something positive and the bad organization is something negative. I linked the two by adding although. Let's have a look at number 2. Some clubs had stand right by the front entrance dash ours was right at the back. Again, let's have a look at the meaning here. Do I have a certain contrast? Do I have like idea and an opposing idea? So I need to show this contrast between the two. Read it carefully. I know that for elective students perhaps they find it difficult because the amount of vocab used and the way sentences are structured is different than you have it in the English core. But again, try to read the sentence carefully so you can find out the meaning. Let's see. Some clubs had stands right by the front entrance. Ours, okay, was right to the back. Is it contrast? No, it's almost similar to the same thing, but what I'm talking about, some clubs, and I'm talking about ours. The other clubs are by the front entrance and ours is where right at the back. So can you think with me? The answer for this one is whereas, because we don't have space, let's write it here. So this is for number 2. Is it clear? Let's read it. Some clubs had stands right by the front entrance, whereas ours was right at the back. Is it logical? Logically, does it make sense for you? Yes, so perhaps you can feel it sometimes. And perhaps what is funny that some of the students will say, it's just like this, it comes like this. How is that? Just we feel it. This is because they read. It's not because they are native speakers, no. Because they read, and once you read more, you can feel, does it work or doesn't? It doesn't. If it doesn't work, why? Because it doesn't make sense for me. Although you cannot figure out the reason, but for you, as you have read a lot, you can see it doesn't work or not. Let's have a look at number 3. You have 2 dashes. It means that 2 different linking words can be used. We were able to put up our posters on the wall behind. What you can get from this? Again, we said +2. Let's have it here. +2. The context, we need to figure out about the meaning, as we said before. So what is the meaning said here? What I can get from this sentence? It's from what is written before. Usually, since that you're linking ideas, so then
3 minutes.
Okay, so since we have 3 minutes, so let's hurry on. Here, I will not keep an answer for you. I want you to think about what's the meaning conveyed here in relation to what is mentioned before, and you can imagine what kind of context is there, so you can find out. Let's see the number 4. A large number of students did not find our stand until the end of their visit. Our lack of visibility. So, what I mentioned here, a large number of students didn't find our stand. Why? Here I have why, because of our lack of visibility. So I got what? I got a reason. What are the words related to reasoning here? Let's have because of. So we will write it there. So number 4 we have because of. And can we have another linking word like on the other hand? On the other hand we said something in contrast. Although? No. What about however? No. Due to is used to give reasons. So for number 4 we got due to. So for number 4 we got 2 answers. Both work perfectly. I let you think about the 2 other examples. So number 3 and number 5. For number 5 we have 2 examples, and again here it's somehow related to what is before. Dash, they were tired and not very receptive. You think about what is before, it will be easy for you to find out. For we had here another practice. I'll just show it to you. We have 1 minute almost. Okay. So the first sentence, I'll do the first and then you can think about the others by yourself. It's mainly linking words are about practice. Practice more, you master them more. Practice reading texts where you can face the use of the linking words, you can understand them more. There is no rule to follow. It's just about the usage of each one and how you can use them in reading. Let's have a look at the first one. So Ali had a bad headache. I recommend seeing the doctor. So what do you see here? Ali had a bad headache. Simply, so I recommend seeing the doctor. The other example, dash COVID-19, people should stay at home. What is the answer here? Why people should stay at home? Here you ask yourself why. Because of what? Because of this. And inshallah things will be fine by the end of this month, inshallah. So we can say because of. Because of COVID-19, people should stay at home. I'll leave you with the rest of the examples, and you can go for your workbook, page 82, where you have a task there. This is the task. I provided the task for you, so you can go check your workbook and try to do the task by yourself. Hopefully you have got the idea, and thank you so much. We are done.
شكرا جزيلا لك الأستاذة بسمة بن سعيد السديرية، معلم أول مادة اللغة الإنجليزية. شكرا جزيلا لك.
شكرا أستاذ.